I'm Dr. Himanshu Kanpal, Assistant Professor English, Government MS College for Women, Bikaner. In this video, we are going to discuss Anita Desai as a writer. Anita Desai, a contemporary Indian novelist of international repute, is one of the great novelists in the modern Indian English fiction. Anita Desai, original name Anita Majumdar, born June 24, 1937, Mussoorie, India. English language Indian novelist and author of children's books who excelled in evoking character and mood through visual images. Her meticulous depictions of modern Indian life have secured her a place of honor in the pantheon of Indian authors. Anita Desai started her career as a short story writer, and she gradually has been regarded as a prominent and promising novelist on the horizon of Indian English literature. Born to a German mother and Bengali father, Desai grew up speaking German, Hindi, and English. She received a BA in English from the University of Delhi in 1957. Desai has received many awards, including the Royal Society of Literature Winifred Holby Prize, the Sahitya Academy of India Award, the Guardian Award for Children's Fiction, the National Academy of Letters Award, and 3 nominations for the Booker Prize. She is a Fellow of the Royal Society of Literature, the American Academy of Arts and Letters, Girton College, Cambridge, and Clare Hall, Cambridge. Anita Desai lives in the United States, where she is the John E. Burchard Professor of Writing at Massachusetts University or Institute of Technology, Cambridge. Her most recent book is The Artist of Disappearance, that was published in 2011, a trio of linked novellas about the art world, each featuring a different kind of disappearance. The works of Anita Desai in the literature field for about 5 decades now clearly defines her position in the rank of world's top writers. Her majestic trail in the long journey in literature from her childhood to old age shows her true depiction of commitment, enthusiasm, and self-motivations that the society today needs to inculcate in the new culture. Desai has commented on her work. My novels are no reflection of Indian society, politics, or character. They are my private attempt to seize upon the raw material of life. Her engagement with the psyche of men, women, and children takes her complete attention to the questing of being and business of nausea of existence. They are traditional in their way of living, but modern in their outlook and capacity to get their individuality. Desai's preoccupation with woman's inner world and her sensibility take her close to the novelist advocating for a new morality. Thus, the central theme of her natural novels becomes the existential predicament of her protagonist as an individual. She explores the intricate facts of human experience, bearing upon the central experience of psychic tensions of characters. She is a primarily novelist of moods, of persistent states of mind or psyche. She is concerned exclusively with the personal tragedy of individuals, as she is interested in the psychic life of her characters, and her novels show that her real concern is with the exploration of human psyche. Hardly interested in social conditions, political events, she explores the interior layers of her character's mind and brings to the surface various shades of human psyche. Her chief concern is human relationship. Her central theme is the existential predicament of an individual, which she projects through incompatible couples, very sensitive wives, and ill matched husbands. Anita Desai dives deeply, darkly, and silently. She tries to work out the inconsistencies and dichotomies of the virgin territories of modern lifestyle. As she stands influenced by Virginia Woolf, D.H. Lawrence, William Faulkner, and by the works of Dostoevsky, Henry James, and Proust, Desai knows to select from the vast amount of material and presents it significantly as if she has the psychoanalytical approach to the problems of modern life. Anita, with the help of flashback technique and the interior monologues, Anita Desai captures the inner qualities of her life in her fiction. Being a woman novelist, she sides more intensely with the heroines of her novels. Yet, very honestly, she studies the heroes too. In Desai's fiction, we cannot avoid the woman as a subject because women have a significant place in her novels. In the majority of her works, we have women narrators. The story is presented through the feminine consciousness. Desai has a particular interest in analyzing women characters and suggesting the unusual struggle of their fate. She examines the actual social and emotional bonds that shackle women. Here, the setting is the upper and lower middle class Indian family life. It is in this atmosphere that she shows the unhappy situation of Indian women. She presents the strong reactions of quite sensitive and intelligent Indian women, married mostly to complacent, insensitive, uncaring, though dutiful men. The theme of marital unhappiness and an unhappy marriage causing loneliness and alienation in women characters is certainly repeated in most of her novels. The chord of harmony is never struck between Maya and Gautam, Monisha and Jiban, Sita and Raman, Sara and Adit, Deven and Sarla, etc. Mostly her women struggle for their freedom and emancipation from the clutches of a male dominant society. She does not associate with any feminist movement, but she is chiefly interested in the exploration of psychic depths of her characters. Desai's preoccupation with the woman's inner world, her sensibility, storm raging inside her mind, bring her closer to the novelist advocating for new morality. Symbolism is a device to give meaning and relevance to a work of art. It is associated with certain objects to symbolize incidents, characters, words, and expression. Anita Desai is very much liberal in the use of symbols. She does either so consciously or unconsciously. In this way, her use of symbols beautifies the narration of stories and provides life to the situation of character, and in few cases, it compensates for other deficiencies in conversations. Anita Desai is a rare example of an Indo-Anglian writer who achieves without either a self-conscious attempt of sounding Indian or seeking the anonymous elegance of public school English. She deals with humanistic themes, the theme that is dealt with by Anita Desai in Search for Values. Anita Desai's treatment of the emotional life of characters ranks her among the foremost humanistic writers of the modern age. As a novelist, Desai is expert in writing psychological novels and she is called a psychological novelist. She would, however, call them purely subjective. Her writing reveals inner realities. She confines that my temperament and circumstance have combined to give me the shelter, privacy, and solitude required for the writing of such novels, thereby avoiding problems a more objective writer has to deal with since he depends on observation rather than an private vision. She also uses the stream of consciousness device to portray a particular kind of sensibility. In this matter, she is also impressed by Eliot, James Joyce, and Virginia Woolf. She is matchless as she has tried to forge a style supple and suggestive enough to convey the fever and fretfulness of the stream of consciousness of her principal characters. She has purposely adopted this technique to reveal strongly the emotional needs of her haunted characters. As a prose stylist, the mature artistry which can harmoniously blend matter with manner, form with content, design with detail, structure with texture is a rare thing which Anita Desai has received. The interaction between poetic texture and the narrative structure has raised the Indian fiction in English to a higher level of artistic success. Anita Desai's gifts as prose stylist can be acknowledged. What is perhaps overlooked in the progress is the fact that most of her problems as a fiction writer start with the insistence on too much style on too small a canvas. Desai has acquired a peculiar mastery, though sometimes the effect is quite contrary to the one intended. This there is a we can say that thus while writing a psychological and purely subjective novel, Desai employs freely the language of the interior is that neither German nor Bengali but English, and the use and the free play of this language belongs to the temperament of Anita Desai. Whatever she writes is a matter of instinct and waiting. As a novelist, she represents the welcome creative release of the feminine sensibility. As a mature novelist, she is able to describe the story, to portray the characters, to convey the mood, to evoke the atmosphere, and to probe the inner psyche of her characters. Rao has commented thus on Mrs. Anita Desai. Mrs. Desai brings something new to Indo-Anglian novel. Instead of portraying characters in terms of the environment of defining an individual, in terms of his social or caste functions, Mrs. Desai creates character and the environment is important only in so far as it enables the reader to understand the character. Moreover, the true artist that she is, Mrs. Desai presents each individual as an unsolved mystery. She believes in the process of discovering the truth, and at one place, Anita Desai has herself stated, "Writing is my way of plunging to the depths and exploring this underlying truth. All my writing is an effort to discover, to underline, and convey the true significance of things." Now, here I'm going to present the bibliography of Anita Desai's works. We can start from her first work, that is published in 1963, Cry the Peacock. 1965, Voices in the City. 1975, Where Shall We Go This Summer. 1977, Fire on the Mountain. 1978, Games at Twilight and Other Stories. 1979, The Peacock Garden. 1980, Clear Light of the Day. Then there is a children's book published in 1982, The Village by the Sea. 1984, In Custody. 1987, Baumgartner's Bombay. 1995, Journey to Ithaca. 1999, Fasting and Feasting. 2000, Diamond Dust and Other Stories. 2004, The Zigzag Way. 2011, The Artist of Disappearance. This is all about Anita Desai as a writer. Share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.